What's up, guys? So, quick little update here. So, I know this period right now is very much, for a lot of people, super internal. And I just want to say that, FOMO, fear of missing out, is a real thing. And I think that right now, one of the things that I was talking, I didn't release a video this week because I just wasn't satisfied with it. But I was talking in that video about how one thing astrology shows us is how there's sometimes in life where we're really meant to go more active, and where there's other times where it's better to be more passive, right? From a position of let's say a restrictive point in your life, a period, I don't want to call it say a depressed period, or let's just say a less energetic external period. You might get the idea of damn, I'm never gonna have this happen or have that happen. You are blinded from your future. You're completely blinded from your potential future, because you're speaking from your current version of yourself right now. But you have no idea how, when you transform and when you become a different version of yourself, that there's unlimited potential. And I really think that what's done in the dark comes out in the light eventually, and that's good for good and for bad. So I've heard with enough people, this is kind of not about transits or anything like that. This is just in general, that, just this energy of being more introverted right now, being more kind of reevaluating. And it just makes a lot of sense with the current astrology. And we don't know what's going to come. I think there's a lot I could go into about Aquarius, Aries, Gemini. But yeah, you just have to be, I don't know, you have to really I think when you give something up, right, that maybe was an attachment before, for example, for me today, it's Ultra Music Festival here in Argentina, and I'm not gonna go, I'm just not gonna go. I have Saturn on my Sun, and my Mercury. That's not why I'm not gonna go. I just don't feel like I didn't sleep well last night and stuff. But yeah, it's stuff like that, giving up little things like that, which doesn't seem super big, but for everyone, everything is different, and all I can say is that, I'll say this every video, or in so many videos, is remember a time where you thought where you were at, it was impossible for you to get out of a certain situation. It was impossible for you to overcome something really difficult, right? And you thought in your head of all these possibilities, oh, this, all that, all this, all that. And then somehow, whether it's through prayer, whether it's just through God in general, things were okay, So I know I haven't been that active on here. I'm working a lot, and anyone who's interested in reading, let me know. And I'm just not having as much energy to put up stuff on here. I appreciate everyone for being cool with me. I have literally a few more weeks of tough transits before things get good. Not permanently, then in September they get rough again. But the point is that it's been since January 2022 that I've been going through nonstop difficult transits, really difficult and long lasting ones, and that's what it's 2025 right now, midway through, just about, right? Or a third through. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? Because one of the things that without astrology, I would have, especially right now, I almost forgot for a week about that Saturn is 1 degree from my Sun, and my Mercury and quincunx my Ascendant. I'm damn, what's happening with me, And when I remembered it the other night, I'm oh, it doesn't change the fact, right? Remember, astrology doesn't change the fact, but it just puts things in perspective, and you're okay, I get it, okay, I get it, and I have a time period that I know that this is going to be most difficult, right? So I can then kind of get myself in a position to deal with it. Like I told you, last night, look at my eye. I slept horribly last night, even though the 3 days before I slept amazing. It's okay, there's fruit flies in my kitchen, not a crazy amount. I even had a crazy metaphor. Do I really want to go in this spiel about fruit flies too? Maybe that should be in a different video, but I'll give like the really fast version I can. I just was looking at this fruit fly, and I was like, it was about lust, and it was about, attachments. And I was like, imagine, I thought of these fireflies I saw in Costa Rica once in this forest. I was staying in this hotel in this forest, and it was like, with my family and stuff, and a long time ago. And there's like these beautiful fluorescent fireflies, like the song. And I was comparing them to like these fucking fruit flies, right? It's sounding like I have an infestation. I live on the 5th floor in the capital. Like there's very few, but still. I'm like, damn, like imagine the metaphor of like these fruit flies if they were just like these super spiritual beings internally, but because it made me think of alcohol, it made me think of drugs, it made me think of porn. I was like, because they're so obsessed with the food, right? Because they're like trying to find any food, like they're just like, going around, I don't know, like the litter box, like disgusting, whatever. Not going to judge them, but what if beneath that was like this fluorescent, like that their version of a firefly, like, and it's like an odd interview, but I think it's important to realize that like as a human we are that, we are those I don't want to say we are those fireflies, that sounds cheesy as fuck, but like, we have that high spiritual potential. But when we use alcohol, when we use porn, when we use drugs, and not all, to each their own, right? I'm not judging anyone who uses anything, whatever. Like I'm at the point in my life where I'm just kind of like, it's been like years where I've just been not interested, but like now I'm like really just, I respect people so much who go to like music festivals and stuff sober, like to me, or who go out and stuff. Like I have so much respect. Social things, like it's so, I can't do it. Like I can do it, but I have to work out first. So I have so much respect for those people. Also I'm a fucking Pisces, what do you expect? But yeah, so that was kind of like my metaphor I made a video about the other day, but I didn't really like how it came out. So be the firefly, not the not the person who allows these very primordial attachments and kind of things that don't give true happiness, that don't bless you internally, spiritually. Don't let those, these are addictions that can get, you can get past them quickly, more quickly than you think. What's the amount of days? Is it 28 days or less to create a new habit? And you just go little by little. But anyways, that's it for today. I have a session right now, and sorry for such few videos lately and posts, but I will be back, trust me. This shit's nearly done. I'm calling it. If you guys have followed me for a while, like this is like the craziest part probably right now. Maybe late September will be tough too, but yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Ciao.